Imagine this. You're walking down the street, everything seems fine, and then out of nowhere, your chest tightens, your vision blurs, your heart races like a drum in a war zone, and an overwhelming sense of doom grips you. You think, this is it. I'm dying. But you're not. Your brain is playing tricks on you, and you are trapped inside a battle that no one else can see. For millions of people, this isn't just a bad day, it's their reality. A panic attack doesn't knock on the door before entering. It storms in uninvited, hijacking your body and mind. And the worst part, the fear that it will happen again. This fear keeps people trapped, afraid to live, afraid to breathe freely. But today, we're going to change that, because the power to break free is within you. Your brain is your greatest ally, but sometimes it misfires. Panic attacks are like false alarms, a fire alarm blaring when there's no fire. The brain senses danger where none exists, flooding your body with adrenaline, making you feel like you need to escape. But escape from what? That's the trick. It's an enemy without a face, a war without a visible battlefield. Your heart pounds, your hands tremble, your breathing becomes shallow, and suddenly you feel like you're suffocating. But here's the truth, you are not in danger. You are experiencing a surge of emotions and hormones, nothing more. The key to overcoming this is to recognize the lie your body is telling you. Why do we treat physical pain with urgency but mental struggles with silence? If someone collapses from a heart attack, we rush to help. But if someone says, I feel like I'm dying from anxiety, we tell them to just calm down. It's time to break this stigma. Mental health is health, and a panic attack is as real as any other medical condition. You are not powerless. There are techniques, deep breathing, grounding exercises, mindfulness that can help you take back control. But more than that, knowledge is your weapon. The more you understand what's happening, the less power panic attacks have over you. Imagine a world where everyone understood panic attacks, where no one felt ashamed and no one suffered in silence. It starts with us, by talking, by sharing, by learning, because fear thrives in the unknown, but knowledge brings light. So the next time panic tries to take control, remember this. You are stronger than your fear. You are in control, and you will overcome this. Panic attacks are one of the most misunderstood experiences a person can go through. Unlike physical illnesses that leave visible scars, panic attacks wage war inside the mind, leaving no trace except for the exhaustion and fear they imprint on the soul. To the outside world, the person suffering may look fine. There's no bleeding, no broken bones, no visible wound, but inside it feels like a storm, a sudden, uncontrollable surge of fear that overtakes every sense. The heart pounds so hard it feels as though it might explode. The hands tremble as if gripped by an unseen force, and the breath becomes shallow, almost as if the body has forgotten how to function. It is a moment of absolute terror, a feeling of impending doom that convinces the sufferer that something is deeply, irreversibly wrong. What makes panic attacks so tormenting is not just the intensity of the experience, but the unpredictability of their arrival. There are no warnings, no set triggers. Sometimes they strike in the middle of a crowded street, in the silence of the night, or even in the midst of laughter. It is this uncertainty that makes them even more frightening. A person who has experienced a panic attack once often lives in fear of the next one. This fear can become a cage, trapping them in a cycle of avoidance and isolation. They stop going to places they once loved, they distance themselves from people, they lose the ability to feel safe in their own bodies, the world shrinks around them, and even simple daily tasks become overwhelming. Yet, despite the intensity of these experiences, so many people suffer in silence. The world does not see panic attacks the way it sees physical ailments. There is no cast to show a broken spirit, no bandage to wrap around a wounded mind. Instead, society often brushes it off as overreaction, weakness, or something that can be controlled with simple willpower. Just calm down, they say. You're overthinking it. But anyone who has ever battled a panic attack knows that calming down is not a choice when the body is in full-blown survival mode. It is not simply feeling nervous. It is feeling like the world is closing in, like reality is slipping away, like the body is betraying itself. And worst of all, the shame of having to explain it makes the struggle even heavier. This silence, this shame, is what allows panic attacks to have power. When a person feels like they cannot talk about their struggles, they become trapped in their own suffering, believing that no one will understand. But the truth is, millions of people face this silent battle every single day. The only reason it feels so lonely is that no one is talking about it enough. The more we break the silence, the more we allow those suffering to step into the light and realize that they are not alone. The battle may be invisible, but that does not mean it is not real. A panic attack is not just fear. It is the brain's betrayal, an illusion so powerful that it feels more real than reality itself. The mind, which is supposed to protect and guide us, suddenly turns against us, sending alarms through the body when no real threat exists. It is as if a fire alarm goes off in the middle of the night, blaring at full volume, but when you search for the fire, there is none. Your heart races, your breath becomes shallow, your muscles tense, and your thoughts spiral out of control. You feel like something terrible is about to happen, but nothing actually is. This is the cruel trick of panic attacks. The body responds as if there is danger, but the danger does not exist. The brain is wired for survival. When it perceives a threat, it activates the fight or flight response, releasing adrenaline and preparing the body to either escape or confront the danger. This response is a crucial part of human evolution. It has kept us alive for thousands of years. But with panic attacks, this system malfunctions. Instead of reacting to a real threat, it misfires at the wrong moment, causing intense fear even in the safest of situations. Someone could be sitting on their couch enjoying a quiet evening when suddenly their body floods with adrenaline, their pulse skyrockets, and an overwhelming sense of dread grips them. In that moment, logic disappears. The mind is convinced that something is terribly wrong. The person experiencing the panic attack may believe they are having a heart attack, losing control, or even dying. The fear is so consuming that it blocks out all reason. What makes this even more challenging is that panic attacks are self-sustaining. The moment a person starts feeling the symptoms, rapid heartbeat, dizziness, shortness of breath, their mind interprets these sensations as proof that something is wrong. This increases fear, which in turn intensifies the symptoms, creating a vicious cycle. The more a person fights it, the worse it seems to get. They try to calm down, but their body refuses to listen. They tell themselves it's all in their head, but that does nothing to stop the wave of terror. The more they resist, the stronger the panic becomes. In reality, nothing is actually happening. There is no physical danger, no external threat. But the mind is so powerful that it can convince the body otherwise. And because the experience feels so real, people often start avoiding situations where they have had panic attacks before. They avoid social events, crowded places, or even simple activities like driving or shopping. This avoidance only reinforces the fear, making the brain even more sensitive to future triggers. It's a trap, one created by the mind itself. But here's the truth. A panic attack cannot harm you. It feels overwhelming, unbearable, like it will never end. But it always does. The body cannot sustain that level of panic forever. And once the mind begins to understand that the fear is not real, that it is just a false alarm, the power of the panic attack begins to weaken. The mind may trick you into believing you are in danger, but understanding this deception is the first step toward taking back control. A panic attack is not just a thought. It is a full-body experience, an uncontrollable storm that takes over every system in the body. It starts suddenly, often without warning, sending shockwaves through the nervous system. The heart pounds as if it is trying to escape the chest, beating so hard that it feels like it might give out at any moment. Breathing becomes erratic, shallow, almost as if the body has forgotten how to take in air. The hands tremble, the chest tightens, the throat feels like it is closing. In that moment, nothing feels real. The world around you becomes distorted, your vision blurs, and an overwhelming sense of dread crashes over you like a tidal wave. The physical symptoms of a panic attack are so intense that many people mistake them for life-threatening conditions. Some believe they are having a heart attack, others feel like they are about to faint, and some experience such intense dizziness that they think they are losing control of their own body. The sensation of detachment or feeling disconnected from reality can be one of the most terrifying aspects. It's as if the mind has separated from the body, leaving the person feeling like they are floating, as though they are watching themselves from the outside. This sense of unreality makes everything even more terrifying because it creates the illusion that something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. One of the cruelest aspects of a panic attack is how it tricks the body into believing it is in actual danger. The fight or flight response, which is meant to protect us from real threats, floods the body with adrenaline, preparing it to either run or fight. But in a panic attack, there is no enemy, no danger, just a body responding to fear that has no source. This surge of adrenaline causes the muscles to tense, making movement feel unnatural. The stomach twists into knots, nausea sets in, and some people even feel like they might throw up. Cold sweats break out, the skin tingles, and a wave of heat rushes through the body, only to be replaced moments later by chills. As the panic attack escalates, the mind amplifies every sensation. A slightly elevated heartbeat becomes a sign of impending doom. A moment of dizziness convinces the person that they are about to collapse. Every symptom feeds into the fear, creating a cycle that feels impossible to escape. The body is in overdrive, reacting to an emergency that doesn't exist. And because the symptoms are so physical, so overwhelming, it becomes impossible to think rationally. In that moment, logic does not exist, only raw, unfiltered terror. But no matter how powerful the panic attack feels, it always ends. The body cannot sustain that level of fear forever. Even when it feels like the attack will never stop, it eventually fades, leaving behind exhaustion, confusion, and often the lingering fear of when it will happen again. The body may betray you during a panic attack, but understanding what is happening is the first step toward reclaiming control. Panic attacks are real. They are as real as a broken bone, as real as a high fever, and yet they are often dismissed as weakness, overreaction, or something that can simply be snapped out of. This is the dangerous stigma that surrounds mental health. A stigma that keeps millions suffering in silence, afraid to speak up, afraid to seek help, afraid to even admit that something is wrong. We live in a world where physical illnesses are met with sympathy and urgency, yet when someone experiences intense mental distress, they are told to calm down or stop overthinking. This double standard is not just unfair, it is harmful. Imagine someone having an asthma attack. They struggle to breathe, their chest tightens and they gasp for air. Would anyone tell them just breathe normally, you're fine? Of course not. They would be given medical attention and inhaler immediate care. But when someone has a panic attack, when their chest tightens, their breath becomes shallow and they feel like they are suffocating, people often respond with, "You're just being dramatic." The symptoms of a panic attack are not imaginary. They are a physiological response to a misfired survival instinct. Yet because they originate in the mind, they are often dismissed as something less valid, something that should be controlled by sheer willpower. This is the stigma we must break. One of the biggest reasons this stigma exists is because mental health is invisible. A panic attack leaves no bruises, no scars, no external signs that something is wrong. People who suffer often become experts at hiding their pain, smiling through their anxiety, functioning through their fear. They sit through meetings, attend social gatherings, go about their daily lives while secretly battling an internal storm. And because they look fine, the world assumes they are fine. But suffering in silence does not mean the suffering isn't real. It only means that the person has been conditioned to believe that their pain does not deserve recognition. This stigma also thrives on misinformation. Many people believe that panic attacks happen only to those who are weak or fragile, but the truth is they can happen to anyone. CEOs, athletes, doctors, students, parents. Panic attacks do not discriminate. Strength is not measured by the absence of fear, but by the ability to confront and overcome it. A person battling panic attacks is not weak. They are fighting a battle every day that most people will never understand. Talking about panic attacks openly is one of the most powerful ways to break the stigma. When people share their experiences, it creates awareness, and awareness leads to understanding. The more we talk about mental health, the more we normalize it. It is not a sign of weakness to experience anxiety. It is a sign of being human. The mind, just like the body, sometimes needs care, and seeking help should be as normal as going to a doctor for the flu. The only way to end the stigma is to stop treating mental health as something separate from physical health, because in the end they are one and the same. A panic attack can feel like being trapped in a runaway train with no brakes. The moment it starts, everything spirals out of control. Your heart races, your breath becomes shallow, and your mind convinces you that something terrible is about to happen. In that moment, it seems like there's no escape, no way to stop it. But here's the truth: no matter how powerful a panic attack feels, it does not control you. You have the ability to take back control, to break free from the fear, and to reclaim your life. It won't happen instantly, and it won't always be easy, but it is possible. The first step to regaining control is understanding what is happening. Panic attacks are not life-threatening. They feel overwhelming because your brain is triggering a false alarm, making your body react as if you're in danger when you're not. Recognizing this simple fact can be a game changer. The next time panic sets in, remind yourself, this is not real danger. This is my body reacting to fear, and it will pass. It won't make the symptoms disappear immediately, but it will take away some of the power panic attacks have over you. Breathing is one of the most effective tools in stopping a panic attack. When panic takes over, breathing becomes shallow, sending even more distress signals to the brain. But slowing down your breath can interrupt the cycle. Try this. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. And exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this until your heartbeat slows down. It might not feel like it's working at first, but keep going. Breathing sends a message to your nervous system that you are safe. Grounding techniques are another powerful way to take back control. Panic attacks often make people feel disconnected from reality, so bringing attention back to the present moment can help. Use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This forces your mind to focus on what is real rather than the fear running wild inside you. One of the biggest fears people have after experiencing a panic attack is that it will happen again. This fear itself can become a trigger, making people avoid situations where they felt panic before. But avoiding panic only makes it stronger. The more you expose yourself to feared situations with the knowledge that you can handle panic, the weaker it becomes. It's a slow process, but with time you'll start to realize that the thing you feared doesn't have as much power over you as you once thought. Reclaiming control is not about eliminating panic attacks overnight. It's about learning to manage them so they no longer dictate your life. It's about training your mind to respond differently, to stop feeding the fear, and to remember that you are stronger than you think. Panic may try to take over, but it is not the one in control. You are. Panic attacks thrive in the unknown. They gain strength from confusion, from misunderstanding, from the fear of not knowing what is happening. But the moment we shed light on them, the moment we understand their nature, they start to lose their grip. Awareness is one of the most powerful tools in breaking free from the cycle of panic. When you know what a panic attack is, why it happens, and how to manage it, you take away the mystery that fuels the fear. The mind may still send false alarms, but when you understand that these alarms are not real danger, they begin to lose their power. One of the biggest challenges with panic attacks is that they feel unpredictable. People who experience them often live in constant fear of the next one, avoiding places, people, or situations they believe might trigger an attack. But what if we stopped running from panic and started understanding it? What if instead of fearing the next attack, we learned to face it with knowledge and confidence? That shift in perspective can make all the difference. A panic attack may still come, but when you understand what it is, you no longer feel completely helpless. You begin to realize that while it is uncomfortable, it is not dangerous. It will pass. Raising awareness about panic attacks isn't just important for those who experience them, it's important for everyone. Imagine a world where mental health was treated with the same urgency and respect as physical health, where no one was told to just calm down or get over it, but instead was met with understanding and support. This starts with education. The more people know about panic attacks, the more we can eliminate the stigma surrounding them, the more people can achieve their best self's protection and more better understand this. When we talk openly about mental health, we create a culture where no one has to suffer in silence. For those who experience panic attacks, awareness means learning the tools that can help. It means recognizing the early signs of panic and knowing that it is possible to regain control. It means understanding the role of breathing, grounding techniques, and self-talk in breaking the cycle of fear. It means realizing that avoidance only feeds anxiety and that facing fear one step at a time is the way to freedom. Most importantly, awareness means knowing that no one is alone in this struggle. Panic attacks are common, and countless people have learned to manage them successfully. Fear thrives in darkness, but knowledge brings light. The more we talk about panic attacks, the more we normalize mental health discussions, the less power fear has over us. A panic attack may feel like an unstoppable force, but the truth is, awareness gives us the upper hand. When we replace fear with understanding, panic attacks no longer have the same control over our lives. The journey to overcoming them starts with awareness, and awareness starts with us. Panic attacks may feel like an unbeatable force, but they do not define those who experience them. They are not signs of weakness, nor are they permanent barriers to living a full life. The fear they bring is powerful, but so is the strength of the human mind. The same mind that once felt trapped can also be the one that finds freedom. The key lies in understanding, in breaking the silence, in knowing that while panic attacks may come, they will also go. The first step to overcoming them is awareness, knowing what they are, why they happen, and how to manage them. The second step is action, learning to take back control, using breathing techniques, grounding strategies, and challenging the fear instead of running from it. And the final step is breaking the stigma, speaking openly about mental health, and creating a world where no one has to suffer in silence. Panic attacks are temporary. They do not last forever, and they do not have the power to define your future. No matter how overwhelming they may feel in the moment, you are always stronger. The fear may try to take over, but it does not get the final say. You do.